going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today, we have a really special guest in the building. Listen, this lady's been in the industry for the past 12 years and been pumping out crazy hits. Right now, she has a new song that we're going to be talking about because this is a completely different switch from what she started out as. Who we have in the building today? We have Tifa in the building today. What's going on, my sister?
Hey, Pumpkin, what's up? I'm good. I'm here. I'm alive.
You're good, especially in these times right now, you know what I mean?
All is well right now. Give thanks.
Thank you for coming through the podcast today.
No problem.
All right. Let's get back into history and then move it right up to present day right now, all right? What part of Jamaica do you grow up in, and what actually attracted you to music in the first place?
I was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica. Part downtown, Duke Street, part uptown, and I come from somewhat of a musical family. Like my mom, my uncle, my stepdad, they all had like record stores. My grandmother had a big bar and restaurant downtown.
Okay.
So music was always a part of it. My stepdad was a big producer in music. My uncle actually had one of the big record stores on Eglinton in Canada.
Okay. Yeah. What record shop was that there?
I think it was called SDR Records.
Yes. Cliffy?
Yeah. Small world.
Small world. Yeah. Okay, so then that's what actually got you involved in music in the first place. It was around you.
Oh, surrounded.
Yeah. Because I know you went to school for when you went to university, you were taking psychology
and human resource management.
Okay. How has that helped you in the music field so far?
I mean, it does. Like, you're dealing with a lot of crazy personalities, and you're dealing with a situation where there's a lot of fame and there's a lot of money at stake, and you have to know how people think. You have to know how people work. You have to know how fans think. You have to know what fans gravitate to. So it definitely has helped me.
Yeah. All right. And what was your journey like? Because I know your first recordings was with your uncle, as you were saying, and then you got to Ward 21. What was that journey like?
I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't typical journey that females had. You know what I mean? Especially when I got to Ward 21, like, they were like the pit bulls. So I don't have the horror stories like, oh, this or oh, that, because most of who wanted to get to me, or Natalie or Timberly at the time, because we were TNT, had to go through Ward 21. So we just worked. It was just a fun time, and we just did a lot of work.
Yeah. And what was your first hit that you had produced out of the group at that time there?
I think the first hit was probably Cranny Gal.
Yeah.
And then the song, then Bottom of the Barrel came and built it. And then after Spell It Out, it was a rap. Like, it was a household name.
Yeah. And how did that change your career for you?
It changed my career a lot. Like, when Cranny Gal came out, remember, Cranny Gal was one of those anthems that it was an anthem where girl walk in a video light and talk the things and fight. And when I did Spell It Out, it crossed the barrier between dancehall, because dancehall loved the record, but then I also tapped into young kids. Because it was a spelling record, you know what I mean? Because it was a spelling record and everybody wanted to be the spelling bee thing or whatever, and then that opened the door for like a lot of endorsements, because corporate Jamaica realized that, okay, she not only appeals to the dancehall masses, but she also appeals to kids and family, and so that catapulted me on a whole nother level.
Yeah, because I know, was it during that time there you got the Digicel deal and stuff like that?
Like a year after that. Like a year after that, it was the whole thing with Digicel.
And then when you started to travel, where were some of the first places that you actually started to travel to?
Well, of course, the United States, Canada, Europe. I did my first big Europe tour at 21. That was like 2008, like 12 years ago.
Okay.
We toured everywhere. I've been to some places that I never ever thought I would ever be, like Bratislava, like the Czech Republic. Like, you only see those places when Olympics, and you're like, huh, where's that place?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been. The only places I have not been to is probably Japan, and I have not gone to Africa. That's it. Oddly enough.
You haven't been to Japan?
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I haven't been to Japan yet.
Yeah, no, that seems like, I figured that would be one of your earlier places you would have actually been to.
I mean, we've been in talks to go, but haven't gone.
All right. Wow. Okay. So even right now, I know that you're doing a lot of work even throughout the quarantine and stuff. Like, you have upcoming role in a movie or something. Is that something you could talk about now?
Basically, there's a movie and there is a series. COVID kind of slowed up the recording process, but we should be shooting soon, and hopefully you'll see me on one of your major streaming networks soon.
Yeah. All right. So I see you're embracing technology and stuff like that. Because when you first came out, the biggest you would get on social media was probably a MySpace. Because I don't even think Facebook was really around at that time there.
MySpace, then I think Facebook came after, and then the whole Instagram thing. But I mean, in order to appeal to the masses, you have to move with the times. You know what I mean? It might not be comfortable for all of us, but we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, and keep it moving. You're right. Because I know about 2 years ago, you were kind of disgruntled with the industry and with social media and stuff like that.
I mean, it wasn't.
Was it because, okay, hold on. Was it because coming from a female artist, or was it coming from an artist perspective?
I mean, I was just disgruntled with the industry. It wasn't even that. It was just a whole lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Because up until 2 years ago, nobody really heard my mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me to open my mouth and say certain things is because it was just really, it got to a real shady point. It never necessarily have to do with nothing with me being disgruntled with social media, because I cannot have social, like I have 500,000 followers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not even that. It was just a lot of things that were happening behind the scenes at the time that I was just not happy with.
And this was 2018. How has that changed between 2018 and 2020?
Honestly, no, I mean, I really care. Like, no, I'm over it now. Like, I've moved. You know what I mean? There's so many things happening that I can't live in the past.
Yeah.
If you probably spoke to me 2 years ago, I'd have probably been disgruntled. But no, I mean, I really care, because things are happening and opportunities are happening, and I'm back in a happy space where I'm creating. So I've just moved on from it. I'm a Sagittarius. Like, I don't dwell on things for long. Like, I'll be upset for 2 minutes and then I move on. Like, I keep it moving all the time.
Keep it moving. All right. When you say you moved, did you move as in another part of Jamaica, or you moved?
No, I mean, I'm dual. So I'm between Jamaica and in the States. You know what I mean?
Okay. And you think that's giving you a different flavor being out in the States right now?
I mean, I just took some time away from Jamaica to be Tifa. You know what I mean? Sometimes I had no space. It's funny because I was just talking to somebody about this. Imagine being in a place where you're grateful for the opportunities, but you have no privacy. Like, everybody knows your name, everybody knows what you're doing. Like, I was on every billboard, I was in the national airports. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows your face, everybody knows your movements. And I just needed the time to get back to not even Tifa, but Tifa. You know what I mean? To just revamp and regroup and just balance.
Hear you 100%. Talking about that, what is the biggest difference between Tifa and Tifa?
I mean, really and truly, there's no major difference. You know what I mean? But I mean, Tifa is the type of person that loves to go to the supermarket, that loves to cook, and you know what I mean? Tifa is the persona, but then there's no difference because a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people don't put the maths together to see that Tifa is actually Tifa without the la.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My mom gave me that name, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since I was born, so
that's what it is right there. I get you 100%. All right, let's change gears a bit. As a female in the music industry, how hard is it for you to actually date while being an artist?
It's very hard. Because again, you don't know who wants Tifa as opposed to Tifa. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard because some guys will be like, yo, they want a notch under them belt. Or sometimes they don't know how to handle the success or the fact that their girlfriend is more successful than them, or you know what I mean? Their girlfriend is more popular. At first, it's cool. Oh yes, I'll take the pictures for you. I'll this, all that, and then after that is like, especially you have to understand, like the world knows you, or some of the world know you, and then you might just be the hot boy in your crew. That might just be 200 people on Facebook. Yeah, you understand where I come from? So it's just the disparity between it is whatever. But I mean, it is what it is.
So would you rather date in the industry or you rather date outside of the industry?
No.
Okay, what are you saying no to?
No, that bond is different. That bond is a different bond. Like international bond is a different bond. I don't want that. I'd rather just date a normal dude Hopefully him can deal with it and we just build a life together, you know what I mean? Somebody with sense, somebody that has ambition, somebody that know to invest. And we just build a life together. Like, I don't necessarily want somebody in an industry. I can't deal, I'm too jealous for that. I can't deal with it, grouping them. I can't deal with, just imagine you as a regular girl, I get a regular bun. As opposed to, you're there with a celebrity and you get some international bun. You get some wicked bun. No, I can't do that something.
What you say, that's not for you at all.
Yeah.
You'll just stick to somebody normal and we'll figure it out
here,
from there.
me is a madu man. So we just stick to the little evils them and me comfortable with.
I hear you. Okay, in a man, what attracts you to a man? What do you like in a man?
I like a man that's ambitious. Even though I have no ambition and a drive, don't think you're going to come date me and sit down and look for me because I'm not take my money and mind you after me go work 2-3 o'clock on the stage. You know what I mean? You have to have ambition, you have to have something about you. We're supposed to can build together. We're supposed to can come up with business ideas. We're supposed to can laugh about the simplest things, or we can supposed to can have a serious conversation about the elections coming up and the state of corona and what's happening in the world. You know what I mean? As a well-rounded man, a man with education, somebody who carry himself clean and nice. I don't have a type. You know what I mean? But that's basically it for me. Somebody with good hygiene.
Yeah. And you're good to go from there. All right. As a female, we usually get this from male perspective, but we don't ever get it from a female perspective. What's been the craziest groupie moment so far in your career?
A guy took his shoes off. Brand new shoes. He just bought his shoes. He took the shoes off. I think it's the first time he was ever wearing the shoes. There were some expensive ass shoes too. I don't remember what the shoes were. And he was just like, sign them.
Yeah.
And a girl asked me to sign her breasts. I'm like, girl, bye. You gotta beat it off. Go away.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay. So then what's the craziest DM you've ever received?
I don't think anything beats dick pics. Like, they're so random and ridiculous, and especially since I announced that I was celibate, I've been getting dick pics on the regular. Like, I'm like,
but why though? That almost doesn't even make no sense. You said right now I'm not on that path right now.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe they feel like they can, you know, they can convert me. But it's weird because some of them so ugly. Like, you know what I mean? Some of them cute, but some of them ugly. Like, it's just Stop sending me dick pics.
Wait, say, what did you do when you got your first dick pic ever? What did you do?
I don't remember. Sometimes I like cross out the name and like cross out the thingy, like blur it out and post and say, guys, stop sending me dick pics. In my stories, I'll just be like, guys, I'm tired of getting it. Stop sending me dick pics. It's random, like.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Crazy. Okay, because this brings us up to the new Tifa right now, where we're talking about your new song, All Night Long. All right? Where clearly you're living almost like two lives at once. You're talking about all night long, but you're talking about celibacy. What's going on?
Technically, no. First of all, the song was written and recorded in November of last year. The song was a freestyle.
Okay.
One. Yeah. And two, basically what the song is saying, if everybody listens to the song, is me meeting a guy and the guy is perfect, like on paper, like nice job, all the qualities that I would want, but then when it comes down to pleasing me sexually, he's whack. So basically the song is just basically saying, if you can't please me, if you can't go all night long, then it don't make no sense. Thank you, next. That's basically what the song is saying. And every woman or man go through that situation where they meet somebody and the girl might be so fabulous and the family love it, but she's just not pleasing you. And it's the same thing with women. Like, a lot of women are not satisfied sexually, but because the man have money, them stay with him and them give him bun and then a whole heap of drama keep after that. Yeah. So that's basically what All Night Long is about.
Okay. Talking about this, still staying in the same vein, how important is sex to you in a relationship on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm 10. I'm shallow.
Yeah.
I'm sex shallow. Like, I'm honest. Like, I'm sex shallow. So if the sex isn't good, I'm not gonna stay with you. Yeah.
It's just not like that. All right, got you. I didn't expect you to give it to me that raw, all pun intended.
I'm a Sagittarius. We are that kind of people. Like,
yeah. Let's go into this All Night Long a bit here. All right, so you said it was a freestyle that you actually wrote in November. What made you actually record it in this type of style? Because we're usually we've seen you start from the spell it out.
DJ, I don't know. I just wanted to do something different. Like, I have these type of songs. Every now and again, I'll sing a song. You know what I mean? And I hate that because I'm Jamaican that I have to be put in a box. If God gave me a talent where I can sing, I write, I DJ, I rap, I do my own harmonies. You're hearing me on the backgrounds.
Mhm.
Why should I just stick to one particular style all the time when I can appeal to a greater mass because God made me multi-talented? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I just wanted to do something different.
Mhm. Makes sense. And how did you and DJ Cash actually connect?
Well, I met DJ Cash like 6 years ago when I got my first record deal,
Okay.
and they had sent me on the road. We were working back it up at the time. They had sent me on the road to Atlanta at the time. I think he was working at V103
Okay.
with Big Tigger. So since then we've had a friendship. You know what I mean? We've been cool. Like that's been my boy. So he was just like he did the record with DeMarco and YF and Lucien, and it was just like Tiff, I'm ready.
Okay.
So no, you have all night long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And big ups to DJ Cash. Like he's one of the biggest DJs in Atlanta. So that's a big deal.
Yeah. He's on the radio out there, the big radio
Mhm,
station out there. Yeah. You guys doing any more work together?
Yeah, we definitely have a couple of songs recorded.
When will we get a music video for All Night Long?
I think it's Monday or Tuesday you'll be getting a music video. So the video was done before even the song came out.
Okay. All right. That's how you're working.
Yeah.
What can we expect in the video? Give us a sneak peek of what we can
I mean,
imagine.
I can't give away too much. It's very sexy.
Mhm.
And let's just say I choose who you don't expect me to choose.
Okay.
Mhm.
We heard it here first, so we'll look out for that one there. What would All Night Long Tifa tell Chronic Gal Tifa if you got a chance to go back in time?
Boy, I don't even know if I can say it. Basically, I would just steer her clear of certain people and certain things.
Okay, and I guess we'll leave it at that. All right. Okay, so then let's go through. What would you say would be the highest point in your career so far? And it doesn't have to be fame or anything. It's just where you felt the best in your career so far.
I will never forget Czech Republic. Up to this, I am the first female with a reggae or dancehall to perform in the Czech Republic. And till this day, it's still the most monumental feeling. Like you're performing in front of like 50,000 people, and I'm just this little girl from Kingston, Jamaica, who never expects this to go pop off like this, and I'm just up there in my little I Love Jamaica T-shirt. And up to this day, it's still the most memorable moment and still the most iconic moment for me.
You'd say, okay, that's a good one there, especially being the first female artist there, period. You know what I mean? Okay, so then we're actually about highs. What about lows? What would you say was the lowest point in your career where you didn't feel yourself at all?
I mean, I don't think I've had the lowest moment yet, but basically 2 years ago. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of, pardon my language, there's a lot of bullshit happening behind the scenes. You know what I mean? There's a lot of betrayals. There's a lot of, yeah.
One of those things there. Okay, since we're talking about that, when it comes to the glitz and glamour of the business and actually hard work, how much percentage would you say is hard work opposed to the glitz and the glamour?
All of it is hard work. Anybody can take a picture or take a cute Snapchat video and post it on Instagram. You know what I mean? That does not mean that you are doing the work or living the life. That's at the end of the day, that's just pictures and videos. That's not real life. You have to constantly be working. You have to constantly be honing your craft and developing your craft and making the connects. And I'm a businesswoman before anything else. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different before me because I'm always thinking about the next move, the next business move, what's next. You know what I mean? Separate and apart from the talent. So it's not easy. Young people that's coming up into this don't follow people on Instagram and feel like, oh my God, it's so, you have your glamorous moments, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. It makes sense because a lot of people see the glitz and the glam. Hey, I have the 500,000 followers. I'm having a great time. But sometimes they don't see that you got 99 great comments and one comment completely threw you off your game.
Honest, yeah, true.
Yeah, definitely. Got a couple more questions before I actually get you out of here because I know you're on an actual radio tour today.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming through. What I'm saying, give me 3 of your favorite songs that you've ever recorded. They don't have to be hits, 3 of your favorite songs.
Overcome.
Why? Because
that spoke to what I knew 2 years ago was going to happen now, which is me bouncing back because I always bounce back. I'm a fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So overcome definitely. IG Stalker, that was on my album. The
Curry Goat
Corgot
and
and
Champagne?
Champagne, yeah.
I
The
got to
IG
ask you about
Stalker.
that title, but we're going to talk about that just now. Hold on.
The IG Stalker. I love that song. That's actually a true song. That was actually about me just lusting after this guy on Instagram, and I decided to make it. I decided to make it into a song
Okay.
and spell it out, just because
Because that was one of the ones that really changed
that
your life.
catapult. Yeah, it did.
But something like that, no, did it almost like freeze you in time where it was hard to become the all night long Tifa because everybody was expecting you to stay the spell it out Tifa?
I mean, no. I mean, what was crazy was that after spell it out, I actually got more hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After spell it out, you get matey wine. After spell it out, you get dash out. You know what I mean? And then I kind of switched it up a little bit and took it. Because when you really think about it, swagging WTF with Wayne Marshall and Fambo, that was like a hip hop record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was basically a hip hop record. So that they kind of have its crossover appeal also. And then I did Certified Diva with Tommy Chin that also had a crossover appeal. Like, so it was just a melting pot. Like, I don't like to be put in a box. So if you follow my career, you're going to see that there is a hardcore stuff as well as there've always been those crossover records in the mix of everything.
You're right. You're 100% right. Talking about that, I want to know, how did you come up with the name of your last album, Curry Goat and Champagne? What was it?
Honestly, I really wanted to retire. I was just sick of the crap that was going on. And I was just like, okay, if I retire, I've done a mixtape. I've never done like an album. Let me put out an album for my fans. You know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, so the Curry Goat side ready? The Curry Goat side was basically my Jamaican side. When you think about Jamaica, you think about food, you think about curry goat and jerk chicken and oxtail.
Yeah.
And then the champagne side is like the universal side, like the champagne popping. Pop champagne. So it was basically just a melting pot of dancehall and my international side. So you get curry goat and champagne.
All right, good one. I never thought about it that way because I said that's an interesting name, Curry Goat
and champagne.
That's cool. All right, 2 questions, and I got you out of here. We've been down for about the past 7-8 months now. What has it taught you about yourself in the last little while?
That I'm an Energizer bunny and I cannot stop going. And even though I wasn't on the road and doing shows and outside, I was still working. Like during that time, I even got like a little home studio. So I just kept recording and writing and doing things that I love, like cooking and drying and like, I never stopped. Like I even redecorated my house during COVID. Like I could I'm just like always going. Yeah. And even a pandemic that confined me within the walls of my house couldn't slow me down.
Yeah, got you. Last one here before I get you out of here. When you said you felt like retiring, what was that one sign that you were almost looking for or came to you saying, nah, man, Tifa, continue, keep going?
I mean, it wasn't even that one sign. I just went to a place where, you know, sometimes you can't, like even you in Canada, like you probably go somewhere far in Canada, maybe like a Nova Scotia where nobody knows your name, you know what I mean? Yeah. Where you can just be yourself. And I just went to that far place where I could just be Latifah. I could go to the supermarket, I could go to the beach and hang out and nobody was watching me, nobody was seeing what I was wearing, I could just be myself and balance. And it was in that period of time when I could balance that everything just became clearer to me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, guess what? I don't make music for the 20 comments under a picture that don't like me. Yeah. I make music for the 500,000 people that I have on Instagram. You know what I mean? I make music for the people that actually like me. Not everybody's going to like me. And nobody can really determine their destiny but you and God. You know what I mean? So I wasn't going to let... When I got back to my senses, I was just like, yo, if I leave, I'm going to leave on my terms. Not because somebody's trying to force me out or not because... So, and the world is a big place. And then I started to ponder and I started to watch and I was just like, as sad as it is, none of the records that crossed over broke out in Jamaica.
Okay.
started to look at things, and I was like, maybe taking some time away from Jamaica is probably the right thing to do, because none of the records that broke out of Jamaica. When you think about it, Cranium, when you think about it, Hood Celebrity, when you think about it, Charlie Black, in like the last 5 to 10 years, none of the big records that crossed over broke out of Jamaica. They all broke here.
From States.
Exactly. So I was just like, maybe I need to relocate a little bit and refocus a little bit and just do some different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you never truly get rid of music. The music is never the problem. It's the people.
Yeah.
So that was basically what happened.
All right. Tifa, it's been an amazing conversation. Your openness, your willingness to talk, amazing. I like it so much. Before I get you out of here, the only thing I'm going to ask you for is, can I get an old school medley right off the top of your head?
Cranny girl, hot girl no mix with no cranny girl. I think no look good, them Alaska the girl can't afford roll lunch. She smell like hospital. I want do some girl, what me tell them? Some girl smell like the bottom of the barrel. I want do them. How I do them? Some girl raw like Elsha seaweed. How I do them? Chop. How I do them? Some girl face red like Christmas sorrel. How I do them? How I do them? And them body black like tamarind seed. How I do them? You think of that? Hey, me are the BADDEST. A girl can't chat cause she LAME. Them a PRE. Can't be ME cause we done have the muscle well. LOCK.
Perfect. Right now, I know you're promoting right now all night long. Tell them where they could check it out, on what platforms, where they could
all
check it out.
All night long is on all platforms. It's for all of my ladies that want the good package, the big sausage, all night long.
Yes. Where could they follow you on social media? Because you have 500,000. We want to bring it up to 501.
At It's the Tifa. At ITSTHETIFA. It's the Tifa. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at It's the Tifa.
Tifa, thank you so very much. Let me give you an outro and get you out of here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinesmusichut.com.